Yo, what up dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Raid Shadow Legends brought to you by Chaos TV. So, I woke up today, right? And there's already a billion videos out there talking about the new latest update, the upcoming updates from Raid. So, I have not watched the video yet. I went through my clan Discord chat and they were talking about asking Chaos to do a takeover. I'm like, what takeover, man? Oh, okay, new updates. So let's dive into the video together and see my reaction. I have not watched this yet. Okay, so put it on full screen.
Hey everyone, welcome to the first What's Next in Raid episode of 2023. It's only fitting that we kick the year off with some huge news about what's coming to the game.
Oh,
so
okay.
Let's waste no time and
New
get
champions.
right into it. First up, let's start with the new PvE content. We're
Hard mode,
supercharging some of
nice.
our familiar dungeon bosses, making for a really tough endgame challenge. Introducing hard mode dungeons.
Hard mode, huh?
When we say hard mode,
Alright,
we mean
hard mode.
Hard mode. These aren't just minor buffs and tweaks.
Wait, what?
We've changed up the mechanics and abilities.
Tainted Crisis.
Adding devilish new twists to old classics. That's not to say you'll have to change how you approach dungeons.
I like how they say that this is a work in progress. May not fully match the live server update. Okay.
Entirely. Stages will remain the same.
All right.
These remixed
Everything is
stages will be
tainted.
accessible via 10
Okay.
extra stages for the Dragon's Lair, Ice Golem's Peak, Fire Knight's Castle, and Spider's Den. So,
Wow,
let's meet
it
up
takes
some
3
battles.
minutes.
These bosses weren't exactly nice to start off with, but a creeping darkness has tainted them even further. They're tougher, stronger, and more brutal than their regular counterparts. So
Okay.
bring your A game. Let's start with the noxious dragon, its tainted Hellraiser. Rather than more fire, this malevolent fiend has doubled down on horrific poisons. His
Okay.
Mephitic fire skill will apply twice as many poison debuffs as its normal counterpart, Wall of Fire.
Poison, okay.
And it beefs up Tainted Hellraiser with a 50% increased attack buff for good
Wow.
measure. Also, his secret skill, Toxic Incineration, will activate all poison debuffs on your champions
Wait, what?
at once. This caustic explosion can deal major damage, so be sure to bring someone who can cleanse these poisons from your team.
So that basically saying I can't solo this anymore with Nishak. Okay, cool. Poison explosion. Okay, this is a lot harder because it will instantly kill your team, right? If you don't have a cleanser.
Now, let's take a look at Tainted Crisis and see what new
Okay,
tricks
Ice
he's
Golem.
lining up his
What's up with
frozen
Ice Golem?
sleeves. Debilitating Frost will remove all debuffs from Tainted Crisis and decrease your team's turn meter by 30%.
Slow us down, okay.
He's now utterly immune to poisons. Makes sense, seeing as he's literally made from ice. So, how do you defeat something made of ice? You melt it.
What?
HP Burn is your friend
HP
here.
Burn?
It deals 10% more damage to Tainted Crisis and destroys the max HP of his
Wait.
minions.
Just now, what did he say about poison? Poison doesn't
Team's
work.
turn meter by 30%. And see what new tricks Frost will remove all debuffs from Tainted Crisis and decrease your team's turn meter by 30%. Also, he's now utterly immune to poisons.
Immune to
Fixed
poison.
HP of his minions.
Immune to
Making it
poison,
easier
okay.
to put them back into
So you can't
the
use
fight
Dark
whenever they
Kill?
get dragged back into the fight. Needless to say,
Man.
some teams that used to shine in this dungeon
Or
will be
Urogrim,
cold shown with
and then Bat
Tainted Crisis
Alcazar.
instead.
You can't use those.
Change your teams accordingly. Next up, the Ice Golem's hot-tempered counterpart, Tainted
Okay.
Pyro, the Fire Knight. If you thought his shield was nasty before, just wait until
So,
you see it now. It goes
a
from
beefed up
being
version of
12 hits
Pyro.
to break in stage
Okay.
25 of normal mode to needing 21 hits in stage 4 hard mode. And that's not even your biggest worry. Attacking Tainted Pyro's shield will destroy your champion's max
What?
HP by 1%. Need more HP destruction? His Corrupting Blaze skill also destroys your team's HP by 15%
That's
of the
right.
damage dealt. Meaning, whatever he does, your HP is taking a hit. You'll need to find a way to counter this, or else Tainted Pyro will be carving through your champions like a hot knife through butter.
Wow.
Oh, and he's immune to turn meter reduction. too.
What?
Sorry, all you Cold Heart and Allure fans.
Oh.
However, all hope is not lost.
First of all, what champions does like 10 hits in one move? Okay, how do you break 21 hits in the first turn? Okay, I think only Brackus does like 6 hits with his skill maximum. This is crazy.
Turns out Tainted Fyro just needs to chill out. Okay, using freeze may not literally freeze him, but it will cause him to lose 15% of his turn meter per freeze debuff. Cool.
Freeze, okay.
Let's move on to our next star, Tainted
Use
Stab
freeze.
Bag and her endless brood of spiderlings. The changes to her dungeon should send shivers down your spine. First, Tainted Scabag is immune to turn meter reduction and HP burn. We're not kidding. In fact, if you've got HP burn on her spiderlings, each AP burn activation will now partially heal her. So you'll definitely
Can't use HP
that.
burn now.
Also, her spiderlings are immune to freeze. So
Oh man.
however, where one door closes, another one opens. Each time a spiderling dies, Scabag loses a chunk of her HP. So, upping your area of effect gain and blasting her entire clutch to Kingdom Come is now a viable strategy. Another saving grace is that hard mode spiderlings aren't any tougher than they are on stage 25 of normal mode. So if you can splat them there, you can splat them here.
Okay.
Overall, hard mode dungeons live up to their name, and taking them on is well worth the
Mythic
effort.
gear?
Along with yielding great
Probably
rewards
Mythic
and
gear,
more
right?
event or clan v clan tournament points, hard mode dungeons will also drop mythical artifacts and
Yeah,
accessories.
mythical gear.
Until now, you could only get mythical artifacts from Hydra battles, but it wasn't exactly an easy location to farm. Once hard mode dungeons go live,
And this is easier?
teams will
Come on,
start
Clarium.
and have more ways to earn mythical artifacts and
Oh
accessories.
man.
You'll want these mythical goodies to prepare for the challenges we've got cooking this year.
Got
Speaking
cooking.
of challenges, we all know that the best thing in life is to crush your enemies. Climb the ranks of the arena and become the best.
Live
in the
arena,
world.
right?
But until now,
How does it work?
You can only test your strength against AI-controlled defense teams, and we know you all dreamed of more than that. You want to go head-to-head with other players to feel the thrill of real-time PvP and test your skill against opponents as cunning as you are. Now, at
Okay.
last, we can say that dream is becoming reality. Live arena.
Live
is
arena,
coming to
okay,
Raid.
okay.
We're super excited about it and can't wait to see how Raid's PvP scene will evolve after the feature goes live.
Whoa.
We'll go into too
Okay.
much detail today, so
Mano on mano.
a full feature preview video later this year.
Oh man.
Live Arena will be available to all players who are level 50 and above. You can queue up for battles several times a day on a set schedule. A necessary measure.
Only 4 times a day?
Times in a PvE-focused game like Raid.
Oh, we need to
Once
queue.
you're queued up, you'll be added to the map.
This is something like a Diablo Immortal feature. You have to queue up to fight players in live
Cool. And you can
live
match up
mode.
against an opponent as soon as possible. After pairing up with an opponent, the Battle of Wits begins with picking champions.
Okay,
During
okay.
this phase, both players will pick their champions one by one, building a team of 5. Each player will then get to ban a single enemy champion from the fight
What?
and choose their team leader. No doubt some of you more devious players will come up with plenty of mind games for this.
Wait, what?
And one thing
So we need to handicap the opponent.
to
Okay.
mention, you won't be able to use duplicate champions in the higher live arena tiers. Once the teams have been drafted,
Can't
the
use
battle
dupes.
begins. It won't be all that
Oh,
different as far
man.
as core mechanics are concerned, except you're fighting a real human. So be prepared for nasty surprises that the AI could never come up with. All phases in battle will have
Okay,
an overall
real-time
time
fight.
limit and a limit on player turns. Should the overall time limit run out, both players will receive a defeated result. You're fighting the clock as much as you're fighting your opponents here, so don't try and stall out for the win. On top of the sheer awesomeness of fighting other players
Okay.
in real time, there will be dedicated live arena quests, new artifacts, a new addition to the Great Hall. where
Oh,
you can
Great
spend
Hall
live
enhancement.
arena crests, and other rewards to look forward to. But we'll talk about all that later. Those are the two main features we'll be working on. in
What
the
does
near
this
future.
area
But
bonus
we also
give,
have some
right?
significant quality of life updates coming too. First of all, we're going to make separate multi-battle settings for various game modes and even for some individual dungeons. This should make it even easier to customize your farming teams and ensure they don't run into any trouble during their artifact hunts. We are also expanding your artifact selling options in multi-battle mode. Right now, you can only choose what rank of artifacts you want to get rid of. But we're changing it so you can pick which artifacts you want to keep based on the rank, rarity, type, set, specific substats, or any combination of these factors. It won't be difficult to set up, and it'll make your farming a lot smoother.
Basically copy from RSL helper.
That'll allow you to sort your
Oh
stats.
man.
For players with many artifacts, it should help you keep on top of things.
Okay.
Finally, we're going to sort out the chaos that is the Fragment Summons tab. Champions that are currently unavailable by any means will be hidden from the list, unless you've got at least one of their fragments. It's a small enough change, but it'll
Oh, it'll be hidden. Okay.
Summons much easier.
Cool.
And finally, it wouldn't be a
Of course, new champions.
Some awesome new champions in the pipeline.
Oh man.
Many of
Look
these
at that.
fabulous barbarians, fashionable Ogrins, and their friends are all but ready to jump into the summoning pool and join the fight for Teleria.
The artwork is
Still in the
OP
early stages,
as usual.
we'll be ironing out some new mechanics. They'll be worth the wait, and we think you guys will love them.
Okay.
And that's it for this episode of What's Next in Raid. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to keep up with all the exciting stuff coming this year.
Okay, so overall, really interesting update, right? Let's talk about the live arena for 1 second. So, right here, the fact that they can handicap one of the champions. So basically, if you want to play this, you need to have a very good roster of arena champions, and yeah, you need to be prepared. You need strategy, right? Obviously, you need strategy alongside with those rosters. So a bit of a big brain here. Like, you need to anticipate what are they going to ban, because you cannot use a duplicate. Even if you use duplicate, like say you use like a dupe duchess or something like that, they might not ban a duchess because it makes it easier for them to take out your team if you put 2 duchess in, for example. Okay, so it might be easier for them to take you out. There's no point of putting 2 dupes of the champion. Okay, overall it's very interesting for live arena. And you can only do 4 times a day. Why? I don't understand. Okay, we just want to kick people's ass. Why only 4 times? Okay, so let's talk about the rewards. Okay, first let's talk about the Fyro, right? Because nobody bothers to farm Ice Golem anyways. Hellraiser is manageable. Dragon Stage is manageable. Fire Knight, right?
His corrupting blaze skill also destroys your team.
So Fire Knight has, the hard mode has 21 hits on the shield. This is going to be a problem. before we think about the destroyed hit point and immune to turn meter reduction, you are basically encouraged to use freeze, right? Like, how many freeze champions out there that can actually do a lot of hits on the A1 to break the shield? That's the problem. Okay, so Allore's value will diminish in hard mode. So if we want to counter the destroy hit point, right, basically you need the blessing, miracle heal blessing. Okay. Alright, so that's on top of my head that I can think of doing the Fire Knight. Right, this is absolutely crazy. As for Spider, I think the dungeon that most people care about is actually just Fire Knight and Spider. At endgame, they will do the dragon for mythical speed gear, of course. But I'll just talk about these 2 most popular dungeons for endgame players, right? You want to enhance your Savage set and your accessories, obviously. So for Spider, immune to HP burn. There's no way to cheese it now with Sakia. Oh man, and Tumnesia, because HP burn will just heal him up. That's not good, man. That is really, really not good. So they are just asking us to kill off the spiderlings. Spiderlings, okay. I guess it's probably manageable with Royal Guard, because if you keep killing the spiderlings, the boss will take damage from that. Okay, although the enemy max hit point damage will be capped, of course, but I see that's probably the fastest way to kill Spider. Can't solo it. Can't solo it with Tunisia no more. So okay, they definitely make sure that these hard mode dungeons cannot be soloed by any champions. So that's the challenge. Now let's quickly talk about mythical gear, right? The rewards. Mythical gear. So there are pros and cons, obviously, when it comes to mythical gear, because most of the endgame players already have very, very strong legendary or epic gears farmed up, rolled up, and then ascended. Okay, you need to think about how much resources, how much energy was thrown into those gear, right? And now basically Plarium is going to reset everything, like start from ground zero again for y'all to farm up the mythical gear, right? And then re-roll them and then ascend them. Okay, ascension is a huge energy sink. Okay, now you have to basically re-farm all these hard mode dungeons. I don't know how much energy is gonna go into each of these dungeons, right? Like dragon, nobody farms ice golem, I assume. Fire knight and spider, and then on top you still have iron twins and sand devil. If you wish to go, you make your gear stronger, obviously. So let's quickly take a look at my gear for better illustration, right? So let's take a look at my Baron. Just gonna use my Baron for explanation. Where's my Baron? I swear I can never find my champions. Oh man. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So basically I have a full set legendary savage set, right? Now you have mythical. So I have to refarm everything and roll up everything, right? And then ascend everything to see if I get a good roll. Okay. Oh god. I wonder if they will also give the offers like these. Okay. Mythical version. They regularly put up offers like speed set and savage set, alright, in the shop. That's how endgame whales go for the gear. Okay. Just buy everything here and roll them. So maybe if they put up, I think it's possible for them to put up a mythical version in the shop, save up our time farming all this. Okay, so that's the thing. So you have buffed the savage to a possible mythical level. So what about lethal gear, right? Lethal gear you can farm from Dark Fae. So I think substats wise, you still need to get lucky with the correct substats, right? So I think that is still okay, because lethal gear is basically free farm from Dark Fae, this rotation, right? So I think it's still okay. And then after you get the mythical gear, the hardest part is probably the ascension. To get a correct ascension is really, really tough because you cannot reroll the ascension. That's the challenge there. So I still can't wrap my head around how we're gonna beat Fire Knight. 21 hits, come on, who does that, man? On top of my head, freeze champions like Shirimani, right? Shirimani has 3 times. He's gonna throw all 3 hits to the boss and has a chance to freeze. This is possibly a good option, Shirimani. And then you need to think about resistance, right? Because the boss might resist it. So maybe you can go with someone like a Cernic. Cernic also has a freeze on his A1 that cannot be resisted. if he lands. Okay, that's a 50% chance. Really solid for the new hard mode Fire Knight boss. Overall, that's not much of a freeze champions as of now. Let's see. There's another, okay, Pixnew, okay. This is AoE, right? It's not reliable. Pixnew is not reliable. What about the other guy? Alright, the free champion. What's his name? Yakao, right? The free champion from the clan shop. Okay, he has 2 hits on his A1. Also very solid for the new boss. So not 100% chance of freeze, but at least it's something. I don't think anybody has a 100% freeze on the A1. Okay, that's about it, I guess, so far. The live arena is gonna be very challenging for probably early to mid game, I guess. But they will probably match with a similar power level, I guess. I'm not sure how the matching criteria would be. Like, I can be very low power, but I'm still very strong account, right? So I don't know how they're gonna match. As for the overall hard mode dungeon, I guess you certainly need a stacked roster to do it. Okay, you need a lot of champion choices, so it's mainly meant for end game players, right? If you are mid game, that is what all these dungeons are for, right? Mid game stage 21, right? 25, sorry. All these dungeons are for until you are able to progress to end game. So overall, it's already a huge energy sink as of now, just by farming the normal level of the dungeons. If we include Iron Twins and Sand Devil, I'm not sure how the player base is gonna cope with all this huge energy consumption. Okay, basically, because bear in mind, all the end game players, their gear basically are resetted. They need to refarm all this to get mythical gear. Sounds like a monumental task, right? Like, for example, you want to go for the best speed gear, right? I mean, it's a lot of energy. I foresee a lot of energy required to get the mythical rolls. For boots, for speed set, the boots is still okay. Okay, as long as you get a 6-star speed, right? What matters is the other pieces, right? You need to get like mythical substat on speed. That's what they are going to farm for. Okay, this is going to be red color. It will provide a huge boost to speed. Once they get that substat, they have to roll that substat. It's very challenging. They need to get the good roll on the substat. So I think this is a pro and con update, right? Obviously it has good and bad. It's challenging for end game players, but the cons is it's gonna take a lot of energy and also bridge the gap between end game and mid game, or whatever, free to play or the whales, right? The category is gonna be wide, even wider now. So let me know what you feel about this update, and I will see you guys on the next one. How about this guy? What's the name? Grisea, right? Nope, it's not 100% chance. It's possibly not gonna use her, right? Not probably not gonna use her, if I can speak.